I'm going to show you a match where Serral competes against Special. Serral is on the left, Special is on the right, Zerg is on the left, and the Terran is on the right. It's best of 5 series and it's semifinals at 2018 WCS Leipzig. Currently, Serral, the Zerg on the left, has gained the victory, and in the second match the Terran will try to regain its competitive advantage and move forward. They are playing in 2018 WCS Leipzig tournament that has a prize pool of $101,000. It's 3 group stage single elimination bracket tournament with payouts as follows: first place 20,000, second place 10,000, third, fourth place 6,500, and here you can take a look at further brackets. 25th, 32nd gets $1,250 each. Notable participants right here, you can take a look. And here's the group stage. That's the third group stage with the results. And they moved on to the bracket. I'm going to show you Serral versus Special right here. As you can already see, Serral has prevailed in this match. Here you can find distribution, region, and country statistics, map statistics also. This tournament 2018 WCS Leipzig is part of a grander scheme. It's part of a Starcraft World Championship series, where the best players of various tournaments within the series will compete against each other in the global finals right here to determine the best offline StarCraft 2 player. 2018 WCS Leipzig was the first tournament. The winner is Serral and the runner-up is Showtime with a score of 4-2. 2018 WCS Global Events: IEM Season 12 World Championship Katowice, 2018 GSL versus the World, Seoul. If you want to watch the castings, you can go to AndYouLeftTheGame YouTube channel. Here you are going to be able to go to playlists and find your favorite game to watch. You can find the channel by typing it in the search bar on youtube.com website. You may get 1 or 2 channels right here. If you get the channel called AndYouLeftTheGame and it has no blank spaces, just click on it and it will take you straight to the channel. If for any reason you will get 2 channels or 1 with the blank spaces, just click on it and go on to the featured channels by just looking at the right of your screen and clicking on AndYouLeftTheGame. This will take you straight to AndYouLeftTheGame YouTube channel. Here is a visual representation of StarCraft World Championship Series Global Finals 2018. Total pricing over $2 million. 8 players from Korea against 8 players from the circuit will compete for $500,000 in total. Korea is separated in 3 GSL leagues and 2 super tournaments, while the circuit is separated into 4 tournaments and 4 challengers. Global IEM Katowice also is a major tournament that has a prize pool of $250,000. There's also GSL versus the World All-Star event. Now that we know about the tournament, let's move on to the players. First player is Zerg. Representing Zerg, a race entirely unlike Terrans or the Protoss. They are composed of many different species integrated into the swarm via Zerg infestation. He is from Finland and he made over $130,000 playing StarCraft 2. Here you can learn more about him by stopping the video and reading about him, and can learn about his trivias, read about his interviews by going to this website or just googling the events or the headlines right here. And furthermore, you can find out about his achievements in premier tournaments, major tournaments, minor tournaments, premier team leagues. You can also find out about his championships and look around in his gallery where you can find his pictures and see how he looks like. His opponent is a Terran player. The Terrans are relative newcomers to the Koprulu sector. They are the descendants of a disastrous colonization expedition launched from Earth centuries ago. Forced to adapt to the harsh existence on the mostly lifeless worlds of the sector, the Terrans are masters of survival. Terran units rely on solid armor, plentiful firepower, and strength in numbers to hold the line. Terrans excel in defensive situations where their bunkers and siege tanks really shine. One thing to note here is that nobody ever playing against Terran wants to end up in a siege, in a tank, fire. It's just too devastating. The tanks would wipe out everything very, very quickly, just as similarly as the Zerg Bailings would do. Special is Juan Carlos Tena Lopez, also known as Major, and going by many more nicknames. You can find his alternative IDs here. He made over $190,000 playing StarCraft 2, and his legacy goes back to 2011 when he first joined Root Gaming. On this web page here, or by stopping this video, you can read more about him, learn about his past and achievements, some of his trivias, and take a look at his tournament prizes, the results that he ended up with in the tournaments, the places. So a few premier tournaments, many major tournaments, and quite a few minor tournaments also. He played in premier team leagues as well. Here are the matches and replays that you can watch in your free time. Read about him on interviews and check out the gallery of pictures. Now that we know the players and the tournament, their standings, let's move on and take a look at their second game from Serral's perspective. This is a Backwater LE map, and we'll see how Zerg player Serral has played this match right here, right now. First of all, he starts with an expansion, and already moves quite a few rally points, so he's sending his overlords out there. He wants to scout them a little bit. You see, it's very dangerous to scout the Terran because very cheap Terran units such as Marines won't have a hard time going through the overlords and killing them with the relative ease. And besides that, Terran can easily build air units, not like Zerg that requires a hive upgrade. The Terran can just easily build himself a starport, build a couple of airplanes and go overlord hunting. And one overlord costs 100, which is absolutely horrendously devastating for the Zerg player to lose his overlords, especially at the beginning of the game. Now Zerg moves on to a very quick second hatchery expansion here, and he will start expanding here. A spawning pool is on its way. It's 1 minute 50, so a few Zerglings will start to come out and probably test Terran's lines. We see that the second hatchery is finished and a Reaper has been spotted already. So that means that Terran knows how Zerg plays here. Surprisingly enough, Terran has walled himself off onto the second base out there, and this Reaper came in to harass. As you can see, this Reaper is so fast that he will be easily, when microed very well, be able to kill off those links and get away barely scratched. However, the Queen is a much harder unit to deal with, probably nearly impossible for the Reaper to take out the Queen in a short period of time. And the other Queen has been already positioned in a strategically important location where the Reaper would try to jump into his opponent's second natural, and it looks like that's exactly happened. As you can see on the screen, the red dot was blipping, which means that an engagement has taken place there. Now Serral moves on for a super ultra quick third hatchery at 3 minutes, and obviously this is fine for him because this map gives an opportunity to have a third expansion in a very closed off location, a location that can only be entered through the main entry that goes through the second base, and it can only be defeated easily with a properly derived drop. Now it looks like Serral there was testing the lines and was seeing if there are any entry points or undefended locations, but it seems that's certainly not the case so far. And the Zerg will continue droning up. As you can see in the unit layout, Zerg only has 13 Zerglings, which is very small amount. I've just noticed an Idus Worm being started there. This means Serral is soon going to prepare for a drop. However, so far he doesn't really have an army to do that, because most of the time he was building himself drones, which is very obviously risky. So far I think that the Terran had to attack with all those Hellions and with the relative ease defeat those links. However, 3 Queens would have been a very powerful counter. However, I'm not sure that those Queens would have stopped the Hellions from moving into the natural and killing all those drones there, or most of them at least. In any case, it looks like both players are playing relatively defensively here. The Terran is not committing on the attacks here, has those Hellions for defensive purposes also, as it seems here. However, the first batch of roaches has finally finished, so those Hellions would have a much harder time fighting. The Nidus Worm is also finished. In order to drop Nidus Worm, he needs vision. It looks like he decides not to drop the Nidus Worm at the edge of Terran's base, but inside or into the second base. However, it looks like a Nidus has been dropped. The Terran knows about the Nidus. He did got an indication on his map there. It's out there. The Queens came out first to tank away all the damage and reinforce Nidus Swarm health with the transfusions, and then the roaches came out, attacked. Some harassment efforts are in place here. Second Nidus Swarm has been started instantaneously here after the first, and the second became available. It looks like there's nothing here from the Terran side to stop. He has a few Hellions, but these turned into Hellbats and will be destroyed by this massive swarm. That Liberator is down, and it's only a matter of time before Terran player Special is going to GG out of this game. As you can see, Nidus Swarm has eyes right here, and this is certainly a living creature that lives underneath the earth and is so long that he can just kind of or so big that he can just simply transport units that are playing inside of him. And the only way to kill him is by shooting in his head here and making it explode by the turn. In any case, that was an extremely amazing match. 6-minute Nidus Swarm, something very rarely to be seen, I guess, and it certainly takes skill, and unfortunately for the Terran, he probably did not expect this, because nobody was making sure that potential drops, or in this game, on this time, potential Nidus Swarms can be countered. In any case, very nice win for Serral, and this makes it 2-0. Serral is in the lead.